Guardians of the Galaxy 3, as we were just talking about, is coming out here pretty quick. It's less than a month away. It's only a few weeks away at this point. And it is one of the more highly anticipated movies of the year, at least top 5 most anticipated movies of the year for a lot of people. The first 2 films are really good. The first one is fantastic. I thought the second one was quite good, not quite as good as the first. The holiday special was unbelievably great. One of the great lines in all of the MCU, "I'll do you one better, why is Gamora?" Was uttered by one of the Guardians of the Galaxy. It's coming. People looking forward to it. But the question is, in a current time window, where particularly DC films, but really comic book films as a whole, right now in this specific window of time, are a little underperforming. Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania failed to even make $500 million, which I mean, a lot of movies would kill. A lot of directors would kill to have their movies make as much money as Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania did. But for the MCU, that is way down low on the scale. Of course, Black Adam couldn't crack 400 million.
Had to do it.
Shazam 2, which I quite like. So I'm not bashing on Shazam 2. I quite like the movie. But that movie ain't even going to make $140 million. Excuse me? That movie's not even going to make $140 million. That's insane.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And so it is this context. And even going back a little bit, you got Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. Well, hey, it made, I don't think it cracked 900 million, but it got into the 800 millions, if I'm not mistaken. And that's big, but even that was a significant drop from the first Black Panther. But of course, the first Black Panther did not have its star, nor did it have its main character. So that goes a long way to that. But still, this is the context that Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is going to be coming out. Can it catch the biggest opening weekend of the year right now, which is currently held by the Super Mario Brothers? At 146 million. Well, according to Box Office Pro, they have now put out their projections. Now, these are early projections, but Box Office Pro right now is projecting that Guardians 3, the range right now remember, as we get closer to the release date, this range will narrow. But right now, Box Office Pro is projecting that Guardians 3 will make anywhere between $125 and $155 million opening weekend. Now, as we look at the year so far, these are the biggest opening weekends that we've had this year. Scream 6 opened with a franchise record of 44 million. Creed 3 opened with its franchise record of 58 million. John Wick 4 opened with its franchise record of 73 million. Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania cracked the $100 million opening, making $106 million. And the current biggest opening weekend of the year belongs to Super Mario Brothers at $146 million. That's the number to catch for Guardians. Now, look, let me be very, very clear here. If Guardians of the Galaxy, say, makes 135 million opening weekend, there are already people who are ready to come out. They're sharpening up their knives, getting ready to come out and say, oh, it's a big failure because it didn't catch Mario Brothers. Guess what? Most movies this year are not going to catch Mario Brothers. Most won't. If they can make 135 million opening weekend, coming off of an Ant-Man and the Wasp that only made 106, that's a win. You take that and could be a great start. If it has legs and all that kind of stuff, it'll do just fine. But with this range of 125 to 155 million, that is saying that right now, some analysts, particularly the ones at Box Office Pro, say right now at the upper end, Guardians 3 could very well pass Mario Brothers to be the biggest opening of the year. Now, can it catch its overall box office number? We'll see how big Mario gets and how big Guardians can go. But that'll be interesting. Now, one of the other things that the analysts are quick to point out is that the Guardians 3 marketing campaign hasn't even really revved up yet. They've dropped a couple of trailers, yes, but that glut MCU marketing machine has not really put their foot down on to the floor yet. And that is coming in the next week or two. And once that comes, they're quick to point out that we are going to readjust and, specify our projections. But at this point, the low end will make it the second biggest opening of the year so far. The high end will make it the biggest opening weekend so far. Chris, from what you've seen out there right now with the trailers, the reactions we hear from people, the general buzz about Guardians of the Galaxy 3, however hot or however cold, whatever, do you think this is a pretty accurate number right now for still being a number of weeks out, that 125, 155? And where do you see it maybe kind of falling?
I
don't. I feel like people are really excited about this.
So you think this is low?
I think this is low. I mean, I remember watching the Super Bowl and everyone just telling each other to shut the hell up when the ad came on. You know, and Deadline posted about it. We talked about it on the show, how that trailer was breaking records, making 100 million views in less than 24 hours. People blowing up that trailer. Every time I talk to people about this, they are so excited. They are worried about the cast. They're speculating about what's going to happen in this. They're really, really looking forward to where this story is going, since this is the conclusion of these Guardians, no matter how that shakes out, right? If it's deaths for them stickering.
Ray, did you make that?
No.
Okay.
Oh, that's perfect. I love it. But I just feel like people are much more excited about this one than other comic book fare that I've heard about this year. People seem really, really jazzed about it. They love these characters. The soundtrack's always great. It's a story with a lot of heart. And while I know the sequel didn't fire on all cylinders for everybody, I know so many people who still really enjoyed that one and just love these characters and their story so much that I really think it's going to do better than this.
I think this range is fairly accurate. I get everything you just said is 100% true. 100% true.
Oh, thank you.
I'm also just kind of balancing that against the stuff we talked about before, what's currently happening in the space. So I'm thinking, my guess is it will pass Mario Brothers 146. Now, look, just because I know there are probably some people saying, wait a minute, I thought it made like 177. The 177 represented its 5-day opening, not its official opening weekend. The official opening weekend number for Mario Brothers was 146. So that's the numbers that Guardians is going to be aiming to pass. I think it's going to come in around the $150 million mark. Now, some people will point out, well, you know, John, the early advanced ticket sales went up and it only sold about as much in the early advanced ticket sales as Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Granted, but I've been saying for years, I really don't think that means anything. Because here's the thing. People started bringing that up to me a week after the tickets went on sale. I didn't even know the tickets for it went on sale. And I think a lot of people don't even know the tickets went on sale for it. I think this is going to be big. I do think it'll pass Mario. I'm not necessarily saying that it'll make more money than Mario did overall when it all is said and done. But I do think it will just pass Mario Brothers. I think it'll come in that $150 million range and just pass Mario. Actually, Ray, can you put up a poll? Let's put up a poll. Will Guardians 3 pass Mario Brothers opening weekend? Will Guardians 3 opening weekend pass Super Mario Brothers opening weekend? Yes or no? I'd be really curious to know what you guys at home think about that. So check it out. If you're watching live right now, look into the chat. Ray's just putting that together. Should pop up in a minute. Go ahead and register your vote. We'll come back to that and see what the results are in just a little bit. So guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? The long-term projection right now is 125 to 155. That will get narrowed as we get closer. Do you think that Guardians 3 is going to have enough steam going into its opening weekend to pass that $146 million that Super Mario Brothers made? Yes or no? Whatever you guys think, jump down into the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Guys, we want to thank a sponsor of this video, Rocket Money. The average person has around 12 paid subscriptions. Think about that. If you think you're only subscribed to a handful of services, you might want to double check. With Rocket Money, you can quickly identify and cancel all of your unwanted subscriptions. Rocket Money, formerly known as Truebill, is a personal finance app that finds and cancels your unwanted subscriptions, monitor your spending, and helps you lower your bills all in one place. Rocket Money will quickly and easily identify your subscriptions for you so you can stop paying for the ones you don't want and don't even use. Simply find the subscription you don't want and press cancel, and Rocket Money will cancel it for you. No more long hold times with customer service or tedious emailing back and forth. Rocket Money makes canceling subscriptions as easy as the click of a button. My wife Ann and I moved out of Burbank 2 years ago, and one of the first things I discovered when I loaded up Rocket Money was that I was still paying for a gym membership I haven't even been to in Burbank in 2 years. So stop throwing away your money. Cancel unwanted subscriptions and manage your expenses the easy way by going to rocketmoney.com/Campea. That's rocketmoney.com/Campea. rocketmoney.com/Campea.